Hi guys, today we're going to be solving a problem that has more than one step. So the problem says that there's a rain barrel that has 32 gallons of water in it. And then what's happening is someone is using up 15 and 1/4 gallons. They're probably watering their plants. And then what happens is it rains. And when it rains, her container fills back up and she gets 6 3/4 more gallons of water into her container. So the question that we're being asked is, how much water does she have in her container now? So one of the things that we've been working on is checking for reasonableness. So one of the first things that I want to do is I want to come up with an estimated answer. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to start off with 32. When I start off with 32, I know that she has used 15 1/4. So I'm going to estimate that answer. I'm going to go ahead and change it. I'm going to round down to just 15 gallons. Because for me, it's easier to deal with whole numbers. When I have fractions, sometimes it's a little bit harder. So I'm going to go ahead and subtract 15 gallons, okay? So if she had 32 gallons and she used 15 gallons, now how many gallons does she have? Anyone?
18? No, 17?
17 gallons. Great. So now she has 17 gallons left in her container. It says that it rains, and when it rains, she gets 6 3/4 more gallons. Again, I'm going to go ahead and estimate 16 3/4, just like I estimated 15 1/4 down to the whole of 15. I'm going to estimate 6 3/4 up to 7. So now we have 17 gallons, and now it's rained 7 more. So I'm going to simply add 17 with 7, and now I get 24 gallons, and that is going to be my estimated answer.
Ooh.
So I can check my reasonableness once I'm done solving this problem. I can go ahead and say, is my answer close to 24? And if it is, I probably did something correct. So let's go ahead and see how we'd actually solve this problem. So I'm going to go ahead and flip over my paper. I'm going to go ahead and start off at 32, and I'm going to go ahead and subtract 15 1/4. The first thing that I notice when I'm trying to subtract is that I have a whole number here and I have a mixed number over here. That's not going to work, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my whole number of 32 into a mixed number. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 1 away from 32 and I'm going to make it 31. Because I've taken away that 1, I'm going to try to use the same fraction or the same denominator that I had over here. So I'm going to add my 1 as 4/4. Because 32 is equivalent to 31 4/4. Now I can subtract this problem. And I can say I have 31. Let's subtract 15, which is going to equal 16. Now I have 4/4 minus 1/4, which is going to equal 3/4. So now our rain container has gone down and it only has 16 3/4 in it. But lucky for us, just like today, they say it might rain today. We need it because of the drought. But they have now added to our barrel, and they've taken 16 3/4, and we are now adding 6 3/4. We're lucky because guess what? These two mixed numbers already have a common denominator. The common denominator is what?
4.
It's 4. Because we have this common denominator, we can just go ahead and start adding them together. I can take my 16 and add it with 6, which is going to equal 22. I can take my 3/4 and 3/4, add those two together, and I get 6/4. Now, this problem looks great so far, except I notice that now I have a bigger numerator than I do a denominator, and I know that that's probably not the best way to leave my answer. So I'm going to go ahead and try to take my improper fraction here and fix that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 4/4 from here. If I take 4/4 out, now I'm going to have 2/4 as my fraction. But I can't just get rid of this 4/4. Because I took it out of my fraction, I have to add those 4/4 to 22. Well, it's a good thing that I know that 4/4 is equal to 1. So I'm going to add 1 to 22 to get 23. I have my 2/4 over here. I know that my answer now is 23 2/4 gallons, which if I simplified it would actually be 23 1/2 gallons. Give me a thumbs up if you got a similar answer. What was our estimated answer?
24.
24. Is 24 pretty close to 23 1/2?
Yes.
Great. So that's one way that we can solve a problem that has more than one step.